You know, it's always easy to tell someone don't give up. But today I would like to give you some tips and advice on how to actually work through your hardships. Coming up next. Hello everyone and welcome to the Business of Soul. I am your host, Dr. Melody, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Gloria. How you doing today, Mom?
I'm doing good, Mel. You look so pretty
You
today.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today's episode, we are discussing how to actually work through your hardships. Now, today's episode is kind of like a piggyback from the first episode, which was talking about how not to give up on your dreams and aspirations and your goals. But I do understand that it's easier said than done. So I wanted to pull from my own experience and actually give you some advice on how I have done that same thing, work through my hardships. So with working through your hardships, we already know, we discussed it, that life can throw things at you, sometimes unexpectedly, most times unexpectedly.
Yes, it can.
And when you're faced with those things and you know in your mind you still have those dreams that you want to go after, we want to talk about, well, how do we actually work through those difficult times? Just sharing some of my own personal experience, because I have a lot of experience with this now. So like I said before, I'm not going to talk about anything that I don't know about.
That's right.
So when I was explaining about going through a lot of pain and not being able to get up out of bed and not being able to function, that was due to a condition called endometriosis. If you know any women that deal with this condition, or if you're a woman yourself who happen to have this condition, you know how severely painful it can be. So when I was dealing with endometriosis, I actually was working in a law firm at the time, and I really was so grateful to my employer at that time because they really worked with me and in this illness. But when I eventually left that job, I was faced with, now what do I do? You know,
Right.
I still have my whole life
Right.
ahead of me. What do I do?
Right.
So if you're in the situation like I was, where you're dealing with a physical ailment, then I would say use that time the best that you can. And what I mean is, if you're laid up in the bed like I was, look, grab your laptop, do research, take online courses, do whatever you can to use that time productively.
Right.
You don't have to feel like you are worthless.
Right, exactly.
You're not worthless. And like I explained before in the first episode, there's a time for preparation. So maybe that downtime is trying to teach you something. Maybe it's trying to slow you down. And sometimes I think that maybe that was my situation. Like, I needed to be slowed down enough to make me actually do certain things that I needed to do.
Right, exactly.
Now, without that condition, I probably would have just been moving fast forward, full speed ahead, not really molding myself or preparing myself for the things that what I'm doing right now.
That's right.
And one thing I want to say to you guys is that one thing that I learned, I was really embarrassed about my condition. I couldn't, as you were just talking about this earlier, I couldn't plan anything.
Right, exactly.
A lot of things I would get invited to.
Right.
I wanted to go so badly.
Right.
I wanted to be a part of so many things. And sometimes I would say, yeah, I'm going to be there. Then I wind up not being able to be there. It wasn't because I didn't want to be there. It was because I was in so much of pain. And so with building my business, I've been wanting to do this stuff. But I was like, how am I going to take appointments
Exactly.
if I don't even know if I'm going to be well enough that day?
Right.
I tried to figure out so many different things. I even had, remember one time I had talked to you about like helping me or something. I was like, well, maybe if I can't do the appointment, maybe you can do certain things or this.
Do it. And the thing it is, I've seen you. I know how it is with endometriosis. It's a monster.
Ooh,
it is a monster to women. I mean, it has just no kind of bearing. It's hard, and I seen you go through it. But I also seen how you handled it. You still, even though it was hard, you still tried to take that and do something with it. You really did.
I did try my best. I tried my best. And like I said, you know, sometimes I was just so distraught and really embarrassed about my condition because I was in that mind frame like, why me?
Right.
Why me? Why do I have to deal with this? And that wasn't the first thing, you know, because I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer some years before the endometriosis came into play. I've had 3 neck surgeries in the same spot. And that was a lot to deal with. And then, so you're dealing with something that you're wondering, how long do I have? Like, you're really thinking about the time you have in this life, you know? And so I've been facing some really serious things. But when I was laying in that bed a lot of times, that's what I was doing. People really did not know what I was doing. And I was always writing, I was training with different skills, learning different skills that I could implement into my business, you know, that I'm actually using now. But if I wouldn't have taken that time and done that, I would be behind right now.
You were designing, doing logo designs, and you were doing videos, and you did find a way to deal with what was going on with you.
Yes,
that was good.
So even so, I started this business, In Harmony Entertainment. That's our entertainment company. And I really was motivated to start that company because my son was so talented in music and everything, and he enjoyed performing, and I've always been into music myself since a young child. So it was just a natural thing. And then my husband, he also has a background with music. My mom, she, you know, so we all are very like musically inclined. And so it was just a natural thing. But the thing about it is like, even with doing my own shows, it's like sometimes I'll look at the calendar and be like, okay, let me try to figure out when the best time may be, when I may be up on my feet and stuff. So I had to, you know, face a lot of adversity and things. And, you know, that's why I am sitting here, because if I can do it and figure it out, you can too. And if you can't figure it out, come to somebody like me who can help you figure it out. Because believe me, no matter what state you are in, not unless you are, you know, on your dying bed, your deathbed or something, but I'm saying if it's not that extreme, then you still can do something with your life. Like I said, use that time to prepare yourself. Moving forward, you know, in 2019, because I have to talk about this. In 2019, December 2019, my son went missing, and some of you guys know that. It's actually been almost 4 years now in December. And when that situation first occurred, and for some time after, I was so lost. I was lost. And I couldn't function. We weren't eating.
We wasn't doing anything. We weren't sleeping. We weren't eating. We barely could think.
Yes.
All we had was, at that point, we had each other.
We had
to
each
sit
other.
down and try to comfort and talk to.
Yeah. We would, you know, be up round the clock, because like she said, we were not sleeping. We weren't eating. All we really was doing, honestly, is drinking wine. Wine. They had these little fruit flavored wines that we had found, and we were just drinking that all day. And it got to a point, we looked at the bottles on the counter, and we were like,
I can't believe it.
We can't keep going like this. But we didn't know if we were coming or going. You know, we just trying to maintain. You feel like you're in the twilight zone. You feel like somebody done kicked you and punched you in your gut time and time again. You can't even lay your head on the pillow your mind, your thoughts are torturing you.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all of these
Right.
horrible visions
Right.
of what if these different scenarios and all this,
Right.
and so I was going downhill fast.
We both was
We
going
both were.
downhill.
We were not taking care of ourselves.
Not at all.
And it just got to a point where enough was enough. And it's like, look, we know we love Jaden
Loving the
with all our heart.
all our heart.
But he wouldn't want us to be in a state where we are so distraught to where we destroy ourselves.
Right, exactly.
And that's what was
And
happening.
That's what we was doing. We was destroying our own selves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it got to a point where, personally for myself, I was like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to change this. I know I'm going through this. I done exhausted every avenue I could, every possibility that I could do, everything that I could try.
Exactly.
Let me just start taking care of myself.
Exactly.
Let me start there with self.
Right.
And that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, like, when you're going through something, sometimes you have to take your power back.
You have to. Don't let it beat you up. You be down for a while, but like she just said, you have to take that power back. You
Yes,
have
you
to
do.
get back in control. You have to get back on track. Because if you don't, what's gonna happen?
Oof, you lose your mind.
That's right.
I really felt like I was losing my mind.
Exactly.
And that's not a good feeling. And so what I started doing is when I started gathering myself back up, gathering the pieces back up, I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish school. Because these are the things I always wanted to do.
And you did.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did.
I said I'm gonna finish school. And this is during the time when that pain from the endometriosis stopped.
Right.
And I was like, wait, hold on. Now I have the opportunity to really move forward with what I truly have always wanted to do.
Right.
So that's why when I talked before about divine timing, just trust in Yahweh. You say, God, trust in God. That have faith.
Yeah.
It does work. It's not always going to be exactly when we want it to happen, but it will happen. But you have to give him something to work with.
Exactly.
Show him that you're willing, that you're a soldier for him. Show him that you're willing to be strong.
Right.
Show him that
Yeah.
you have faith in
Right.
him.
Show him that drive that you have, that get up and go to. Show him that you're willing to get on your feet and
That's right.
be strong, because you don't want to be down. You don't want to be like that. And I've seen the endometriosis through my daughter. When I say she has serious pain, she has serious pain. And on top of that, other pain as well. But look where she at right now. And Yahweh has brought
so
you
grateful.
really from a long way.
And I am so grateful. I'm so thankful. Like I can't help but go hard with what I want to do, because he could have left me where I was. So you have to see your blessings, and you have to do what is necessary.
That's
and
right.
show that you're thankful. Don't just say it, show it
That's
with
right.
your life. Show it
Exactly.
with the choices that you make.
Yes.
So that's why I wanted to give y'all guys some advice. We all have stuff that we go through.
Exactly.
Nobody is exempt. We all have to deal with stuff,
Yes.
right? And so, like I said, just figure out what you can do in those moments. Whatever it is you can do in those moments, believe me, those steps are gonna add up. Over
Right.
time, it's gonna all come together. It's like the pieces of a puzzle. Just sometimes you gotta work on this piece. Over here, you want to have the whole puzzle together,
That's
but
right.
right now you ain't got all the pieces. Let's just
Right.
work on the pieces that we have, and let's do the best that we can with where we are. Don't give up on yourselves. I know I said that last time, but don't give up on yourself. Let's say if your dream has always been to start your own business or whatever type of business it is, but you can take that time to actually go online, do research, reach out to people who have similar businesses to the one that you aspire to have. Get advice on things. You can get your plans together. Do it.
That's
Don't
right.
wait until the perfect time and now you want to plan it. plan it while you're down. Like I said,
Exactly.
give Yahweh something to help you with, like, show him that you haven't even given up on yourself.
Exactly.
We don't want Yahweh to give up on us, but we'll be so quick to give up on ourselves. Like, it doesn't work that way. Just understand that you always have something that you could be doing in the meantime.
Right, exactly.
And so, like, with the situation with my son being missing, well, Christmas Day was the last day that we saw him, 2019.
Right.
And so I always say the 26th. December 26th was really, the day that we started realizing something was wrong. Sometime early. I'm talking about early in the wee hours of the morning. So this December 26th really makes 4 years. And I just want to say this because I don't hear people with missing family members being represented a whole lot.
No.
I know what it feels like. Nobody
Right.
in this universe
Right.
knows what that feels like unless they go through it.
Exactly.
I don't care how supportive someone may be
Right.
or sympathetic,
Exactly.
they will never ever know the torment
No, they don't.
that you can go through and
Right.
suffer through
Right.
with having a family member missing, especially when it's your child.
Exactly.
That is one of the most horrific things that you can experience.
Exactly.
And I know there are mothers out there, or parents in general, who have lost children, who have died, who have suffered to violence and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And I know that's a pain. I can't say I understand that.
Right, exactly.
I'm sympathetic to it.
Right.
That's why when I did, start gathering myself up, one of the first things we did was a strong mother's luncheon.
Yeah,
For mothers who had lost their kids.
Children.
Because I'm like, if I lost, like, my child, I don't know where he is.
Right.
I don't know, anything. So if that can bring the type of pain that it brought upon me, I can only imagine what these women go through and feel, what they're dealing with day in and day out.
Yeah.
But don't tell people, I know what you're going through.
But you don't.
That is one of the most condescending things that you can tell a person who's going through a situation.
Say, I can imagine what you're going through.
Yes.
But you don't know what that person
But you don't
is going
know.
through. If you've never been there, you don't know.
You do not know.
You do not know.
And so I just wanted to touch on that because I said I don't really see a whole lot of people that talk about families who have, that have members of their family that's missing. And that is one of the most horrible feelings in the world. But I understand what y'all feel, and I understand what y'all going through because I'm going through it as well.
You're going through the pain as well, so you're definitely going to understand it. But if you've never been there, you cannot tell a person that, oh, I understand.
Right.
And I hear that a lot from people. I know what you're going through.
Right.
No, you don't know what you're going through. You do not know, and I do not wish it on anybody.
And why would you want to know? That's the thing. Sometimes you gotta be careful about the things that you say to people when they're going through their hardships. Like, just be mindful. So we know sometimes people mean well, but just be mindful. But I want to tell people that are going through those type of situations, I know what you're going through, but look where I am. I know mothers who have been in similar situations as I am going through, but they were sitting in front of a window, just looking out of a window for years. Letting their bodies wither away, not taking care of themselves. And I know how that can happen so easily because that's what I was doing. Yeah. I'm just lost in space. Just my thoughts, my mind. See, the mind that you have can really work against you if you just let those thoughts just run wild and you don't take control. Like she said before, you have to take control. Yes, you do. And it hurts. Yes, it hurts. It hurts like hell.
And it gonna always hurt. It's
Yes.
gonna hurt.
It hurts like hell.
Like these physical bodies.
Don't ever think because you see a person up doing good that they not in pain.
Right.
And some of you people that never been through stuff like this,
Exactly.
y'all do judge people. Y'all
Right.
see them going about their lives and y'all
Right.
like, well, how could they do that?
Right.
Like, don't they worry about their child?
Right.
Or they...
Exactly.
Man, do you want me to like literally like lose it?
Or fall apart.
You know, become psychotic or something?
Exactly. But you know the thing it's how you handle your pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Right.
It's how you handle it. Just because you're going through pain or you have a lot of pain, it doesn't matter. But the thing that don't mean I have to fall apart.
Yes.
In the beginning, yes, I am at that stage. I am hurting. I am going through my pain. But after a while, you got to step yourself back and take control of it.
Absolutely.
Because that's not a state of mind where you want to be in. You do not want to be there. You pray, you ask Yahweh to bring you back, or you ask God to bring you back. You ask somebody to bring you back. Because guess what? You do not want to be in that kind of pain. And she is right for what she is saying. How people say, oh, they're going on about their life.
Yeah.
They're doing good. Oh, look at here. They got a new car. They're not worried about so and so. That is not true.
Right.
You know, we have to be strong. And
Yeah.
I'm glad Yahweh picked me up. And I'm glad he picked her up.
Yes.
And he shoved us.
Yes.
Bring us back into reality. You have to keep going.
Yes, you do. You have to keep going. So, when you're going through these situations, and we just sharing a little bit of our stories, you know, but like I said before, we know we all go through something. It may not be the same as what we're dealing with, but you're still going through something. And if you're dealing with something, still find some kind of way to make it happen for yourself. You may not be able to go full-fledged out with what you want to do, but like I said, take your time. Just say, hey, well, you know what I could do? I could read some books on a certain subject.
Right.
Or I know that my business may entail this certain thing. Why don't I learn more about a certain skill that I may need? Or I know that money is tight. I may not have the money to be able to do all these different things. Let me learn how to do these things. That's what I did. I learned how to, I love to learn.
Exactly. Yes, you always have from your child coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I love to know how to do everything I need to do. And not saying that I don't mind outsourcing things, but I know what I want and I know how I want it to be. And that's the same thing we all can do, you know, to a certain extent. Everybody's not the same, but we all can do something. Right. So, I don't want to dry it out too long, you know, because I don't want to make these discussions, you know, just go, you know, on and on and on. I just trying to hit on the points and give you something, and we're going to come back next week with something else.
But you know, what you're doing is you're doing it out of love.
Yes.
Because you don't want nobody to, you know, see nobody go through what you was going through and hurt the way you was hurt.
Yes.
So you're doing it out of love.
Yes,
you're trying to reach somebody out of love.
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm glad you said that, because I've always wanted to help people in some type of way. But my pain and my health and things that I was dealing with, I was like, I'm never going to be an asset to nothing. Like, how can I help people? I'm always down. But you know what I figured out? Going through that gave me the testimony to help people.
Yes, it did.
And you have a testimony too. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed like I felt. Don't be ashamed. Share your stories.
Exactly.
Because they really benefit people. You will be surprised the people that will see your story and hear your story and be inspired. You motivate people that you don't even know.
Your story might help me in some way.
Absolutely. I've been helping people sharing their stories. I've been so grateful for people to be so open and honest with things that they've gone through, because that did help me. And that's why we're here, to do the same thing. So I hope that you got something out of this discussion today. And until next time, my friends, I am Melody.
And I'm Miss Gloria.
And this is the
Business
Business of
of
Soul.
Soul.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Until next time.
Next time.